around her dad. Yes. But did it ever stop Cody from going to another mom's home? No, it didn't. I wouldn't have allowed it.
The illusion was idyllic. A beaming husband, several wives, a few children frolicking in the sun on Coyote Pass. But strip away the veneer, and the darker tale is revealed. One founded not on harmony but domination, not on love but dominance. From the start, it was never togetherness to him. It was empire building, a kingdom where each wife was a subject, each child a legacy pawn, and each dollar went up subtly. He redefined the rules. Family choices were no longer shared. They were directives. Gradually, each wife began to sense it. Christine initially, realizing her dreams wouldn't fit his plan. Then Janelle, charged with constructing a house on property she didn't own. And Meri pushed aside and silenced. Once she was no longer useful to the crown. In hushed tones behind closed doors, he promised equality. But publicly, he coronated a queen, and affirmatively made it known who was at the center of his loyalty. Robin's power increased as the others were divested of theirs. Houses were promised. But to just one, safety was pledged. But to just one, and the rest, left to care for themselves emotionally, financially, and spiritually, the land in Coyote Pass. Once a shared vision became a reminder of betrayal. Ownership warped, papers lost, borders smeared. He said he wanted to create for the future, but his vision of the future. One throne, one wife, one kingdom, and the rest of them in exile. What made it worse? He didn't try to hide it. In court documents, through tears, and on television discussions, he justified his actions as leadership. But true leadership doesn't leave behind a trail of crushed hearts and empty wallets. As the cracks intensified, no longer could it be noticed only by the wives. The children started withdrawing. Television viewers began questioning. And soon the empire he constructed, based on deceit, started crumbling under its own deceptions. The shift wasn't boisterous. It wasn't dramatic. It was a subtle understanding, one at a time, that the man they referred to as husband, father, guardian, had ceased to look at them as individuals. They were assets, bargaining tools in real estate transactions, alibis in court, public sympathy shields. While one wife lived in a mansion, another was barely surviving in an RV. While one child wore braces, another could not even afford basic medical care. And all the while, he was claiming it was balance, that it was love. But love does not manipulate forms. Love does not crown one and repel the others. He didn't just divide the family, he erased its foundation. Once built on shared values, it became a hierarchy, and those who didn't obey, labeled ungrateful, rebellious, emotional. Christine's departure wasn't a betrayal. It was a survival move. Janelle's defiance wasn't drama, it was dignity. And Meri's silence, that was years of gaslighting finally catching up with her. Robin, unwillingly or not, became the poster child of favoritism, the favorite, the queen of the kingdom. But even she could not cover up the rising anger. No shopping binge, no designer handbag, no $1 million home could muffle the reality. The kingdom he created was in ruins, and not due to outside enemies, but due to the truth, a truth the wives, the children, and even the viewers could no longer deny. This was never a matter of love. It was about domination, about dominance, about a legacy molded in his, not their, image. But out of the ashes of that empire, something new is emerging: freedom, independence, and maybe a different kind of family. One not held together by one man's demands, but by respect, healing, and truth. Because at last he might have desired a kingdom, but what they desired was never that. They desired love, and now they're taking it with him.